Things you may not know about FHA. This is Elyin Perez, and in this video, I'm going to talk about a few things you might not know about FHA loans. Is FHA a mortgage lender? A lot of clients get this confused and they think that FHA is the actual lender or bank. FHA is not. FHA is actually an entity known as the Federal Housing Administration. And what they do is they act like basically an insurance company for banks and lenders. And they provide bank and lenders rules and regulations that if basically the client meets these rules and regulations, they're gonna back up the lender or the bank in case the client doesn't pay on time. And by doing so, they'll reimburse them any funds lost if the client does pay late. Are FHA loans just for first-time home buyers? No, they're not. FHA loans can be used for repeat home buyers. However, most first-time home buyers enjoy them because they have such a low down payment requirement, being only 3.5% of the purchase price. For that reason is that many first-time home buyers use them. However, repeat buyers can use it as well if they don't want to put so much money down, or maybe if they happen to have a little bit of an issue with their credit. FHA happens to be one of the most flexible loans when it comes to collections and derogatory credit. Do FHA loans have income or geographical limits? FHA loans don't have any income limits or geographical limits, other than it must be in the United States. As far as income limits, as I mentioned, they don't have any, which is why not just a lot of first-time home buyers go for these loans, but even repeat buyers use FHA loans because it allows them to get into a home with the 3.5% down. How many FHA loans can you have? Surprisingly enough, you can have up to 4 FHA loans. Now I can tell you, it's a little tricky on how to get all 4 FHA loans, as there are requirements on how to apply for the following FHA loan if you're still keeping an open one. It's not so black and white. There are rules on how far it could be, or whether you're upsizing and downsizing. Something life-changing has to happen. The most common one that we get is someone moving from another state into this state because of a job transfer or because something in their life happened. So how long do you have to occupy a property for FHA before you could turn it into a second home or investment home? So per FHA, you're telling them when you're purchasing the home that your intentions are to move into that home within 60 days and that you're gonna occupy that home for at least 12 months. However, if life happens and all of a sudden you need a much bigger home and you don't wanna lose this particular property, or you get married and your family's growing, something like that, it means that you can still go ahead and get rid of it sooner than those 12 months and go ahead and get another primary residence. Can you buy a multifamily unit with an FHA loan? With an FHA loan, you can go ahead and actually get multifamily properties. And now the key here is that in the FHA world, or anything that's under HUD, it needs to be 4 units, meaning a quadplex or less, for it to still be considered residential property. Anything above those 4 units, it's actually considered commercial property. And that's a whole nother world of lending and different licensing requirements. But you could definitely get a multifamily unit with an FHA loan. And that's with the 3.5% down. Can FHA loans be used on second home and investments? So FHA loans cannot be used to purchase a second home or an investment home if that's all it's gonna be used for. Let's talk about those multifamilies for just a moment. In that scenario, as long as you're occupying one of the units as a primary residence, FHA allows you to buy it as an investment property. Again, you occupying one as a primary, because for you, it's still your primary. But actually purchasing a property to just be a second home or an investment home from the get-go is not allowed. Also, FHA does allow you to go ahead and purchase a home as a primary, live in it for a few years, and if you decide to keep it, convert it into an investment home or a second home. Does FHA require mortgage insurance? FHA requires mortgage insurance all the time. Now, there is a catch that if you're putting anywhere from as little as 3.5% down to right under 10% down, you will have mortgage insurance for the full 30 years. Keep in mind that you can always refinance in the future to get rid of that mortgage insurance. However, if you put 10% down or more, the mortgage insurance will go away on its own after 10 years without having to refinance.